Okay, everyone, here we are on page 3 of the study guide, and this is surface area. Remember, surface area is if we wanted to cover this surface, the outside of the shape, the rectangular prism, with wrapping paper or paint or something like that. Okay, so first of all, we've got a front. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the front. I always like to make my nets like a T. It helps me remember that I need those 6 faces. So I'm going to draw my front first, which is a 4.5 by 2.4. So here's my front. This is a 4.5 by 2.4. That's my front. Okay? And then I'm going to draw my top. And my top is a 4.5 right here by 1.8. That's my top. And now I need a bottom to go with my top. That's on the other side of my front. The bottom's underneath this front here. And so I'm going to draw my bottom. And we know that that's a 4.5 by 1.8 because it has to match the top. Then I know behind this I've got a back. So I'll draw my back. This is my back. And that's a 4.5 by 2.4 because it needs to match the front. And then I need to put in my T here. So I make my left and right. And my left and right has to share this side of 2.4. And then it's a 1.8. So it's a 2.4 here and a 1.8 here. And this is my right, and this is my left, and my left matches my right. Okay, so those are my 6 shapes. So first of all, I have my front and my back, and my front and back are the 4.5 times the 2.4. And when I multiply those out, for one of them, I get 10.8. And when I multiply that by 2, because there's 2 of them, I get 21 6/10. And then I'm going to do my top and bottom. So top and bottom, right here. And those are 4 5/10 times 1 8/10. When I multiply that together, I get 8 1/10. And then when I multiply that by 2, because there's 2 of them, I get 16 2/10. And finally, my right and left, right here. And those are 2 4/10 times 1 8/10. And when I multiply those together, I get 4 32/100. And for 2 of them, I get 8 64/100. And when I add these 3 figures together, I get 46 44/100 centimeters squared. So my total surface area is 46 44/100. All right, next one is a little bit easier because it's a cube. That means that all of the sides are the same. So I'm going to draw my T shape with as similar rectangles as I can make here, or squares, actually. Square is just a special kind of rectangle. It's a rectangle that has 4 equal sides. And I know that every one of these sides is 6.5 inches. So everywhere this could be labeled 6.5 inches. Okay, so one of my shapes, let's say my front and my back, is 6.5 times 6.5. And when I do that, I get 42 25/100. And then for 2 of those is 84 5/10. Top and bottom, exact same thing. 6.5 times 6.5. And I get 42 25/100 and 84 5/10. And obviously right and left, exact same thing. And when I add all those 3 together, I get 253 5/10 inches squared. Okay, last one then. We've got a rectangular prism here. I like to start with my front. So my front is 28 by 25. All right, so I've got a 28 by 25, and that's my front. I know I have a top attached to that, and that top is a 28 by 24. That's my top. I know that on the other side of my front then is going to be the bottom that matches my top, and that's a 28 by 24. That's the bottom. And then I've got a back that matches my front, and that's a 28 by 25, and that's my back. And then I've got a right and a left to make my T, and I know that this is 25, and that this distance here, if you look here, it's a 25 by 24. And those are my shapes. This is my right, this is my left. All right, so my top and my bottom are 24 by 28s. Multiply that together and I get 672. Double that and I get 1,344. My front and back are 28s by 25s. And when I multiply that together, I get 700, and double that would be 1,400. And finally, my right and left are 24 by 25s. And I multiply that together, I get 600. Double that, I get 1,200. And when I add all these three together, I get 3,944 centimeters squared. All right, so you've got surface area. That was page 3 of our study guide.